Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Folks, I'm really excited to break down our newest update that we've gotten, and let's go ahead and break it all down. So, there were a few different categories here. First, we had some new content. There's the charm system and the auto rallies. Then there were also some just general improvements. This included some different new models that they're incorporating. They've added some of the ranking systems. They've improved some of the battle reports and visuals. Pretty much all of this stuff. I'm not going to show you each and every little thing, but it's just making a lot of things that had tiny text that was hard to read a little bit more readable, just trying to make things a little bit easier to understand and see. They don't mention it, but there were also a few bug fixes that I'm going to talk about in a second as well. But overall, not a huge update. There wasn't a ton of kind of game changer content, but just a lot of quality of life stuff. This is a similar trend that we've seen for a little while. Definitely excited to see this charm system in action, but for the most part, nothing too crazy. So let's take it from the top. Looking at this charm system, what my understanding of this is that basically when you're watching UC, there's like the spectator mode for when you're not actually competing in it, but you're just watching. And this is just adding kind of a way to get a reward for watching the most Ultimate Conquest. I believe it's going to be something like that. That's my understanding of it. If we go to the actual, Alliance Conquest, and we go to the rules, and we go to Ultimate Conquest, and we go to Casual Mode, this is where it's discussing the predictions, and there is this whole, spectating category here now, and it basically explains that you can start spectating. There's this feature introduction. You can watch you can watch all matches in the current round. When a match ends, spectating feature will close. There's a limit to the number of spectators, so you got to get in quickly. This to me is nothing new. My guess is that there will be some form of a release of something in this area once we get into it that will explain how the charm system works. But this is all basically what has already existed, but this is the area that you should go to once that charm system is implemented, and I think that'll probably happen once UC actually begins. But that's my understanding of what it's going to be like. So what else do we have? Well, if you go to the rankings page, you'll notice, If you go to the rankings page, you'll notice there's some new local rankings. Now you can see the historical and individual merit for your individual kingdom. Nothing too crazy, helpful. Being in CCPC's kingdom means he's dominating both of them for us. Other new content, so this one is pretty interesting. The auto rally feature. How exactly does this work? Well, if I go to my Alliance page, and then I go to Alliance War, and then I go over here to the right, I get the auto rally screen, and I actually already have mine activated. You can activate it for 24 hours, and I want to break down what all this means. So there's kind of the hospital capacity limit. I would recommend just leaving this at 100%. This basically means it'll keep sending until your hospital is full. There's also the joining distance, how far away from you can it be. I just did 150 kilometers because that's going to be anything that my alliance is targeting typically. And then there's the participating troop preset. I would recommend keeping this at 1, as you don't want to send a bunch of troops. That might fill up the rally quicker. You can set the level of the camp, so I did 5 and above. And there's also just the wait time. So, I don't want to be in any rallies that are over 60 minutes. I'd rather just do the 5s and the 10s. So how does it work? Well, I did a few earlier, and I'll tell you that the way that it works is once someone sets up a rally, it doesn't immediately have everyone join. You need to have a second filler actually join the rally, and then it will autofill everyone else in order based on this. As you can see here, this is the position, your priority. So right now I'm number 4, meaning that there are 3 people in front of me who will be put into the next rally that my alliance does. Then it will be me. So the point of this is that it allows you to be offline, but still sending your troops to join rallies. That way you can get chests, you can do those daily events, and without kind of sitting online waiting for it. So as you can see, I have participated in 2 auto rallies. You can see them here. And because I'm only sending one troop, it allows a lot of people to join in. If I just go to the stats, you can see how many people are able to join this rally, because a lot of us are just sending one troop, or, a couple, 10,000 troops or so, 1,000 troops. There are a ton of us that are able to join. It means that you don't have to do all these rallies throughout the day. You can just do one or two. Now, your position in that queue will change based on, once people above you've gone, you cycle to the back. So it's a way to make sure that everyone gets their shot, and they'll kind of recycle through. But it means that every time I come online, I tend to have a chest waiting for me now, which is great. Really recommend using this feature. It makes setting up rallies and participating in them a lot better. Now, one last thing I wanted to discuss was a hotfix, and I know this wasn't actually included anywhere in the actual notice, but I will tell you that I'm pretty confident that it happened. And what happened is specifically surrounding Hector. So if you're not already aware, when you are in a a rebel leader attack, typically you wanted to use Hector when you're attacking level 6s, because Hector would kind of do this really cool thing where he would just basically silence the enemy commander, and they wouldn't do any damage to your troops for a little while. If you actually go to Hector, what this is referring to is when you go under Hector and you look at his skills. Let's see, the guard skills, here we go. So his second one, Hector's attack has a 30% chance to reduce the target's attack by 6,913. Effect lasts for 5 seconds. Well, what was happening was this was stacking, or there was some bug with it, or it was just reducing their attack down to 0. So they did 0 damage to your commanders. And if you're not already aware, level 6 commanders are so strong that is a huge bonus. If you're able to reduce the amount of damage they're doing to you, it means you can have just damage dealers in the rest of your lineup without having a bunch of healers to keep your guys alive. So they have fixed this. Now it will no longer work. As you can see from the reports that I was showing a moment ago, I learned this the hard way, where I was only doing, 2%, 5%, just not as much damage as I was used to with this setup that I, was routinely killing them in 6, maybe 7 shots with this lineup. It no longer works because Hector is no longer able to silence the enemy commander. So just so people are aware of that, you're going to want to adjust your lineups now to account for that change to Hector. For what it's worth, I did find that this lineup has worked a lot better for me since then. I believe it is. I think I saved it, sorry. Here we go. This one right here, where I still used Hector, because I do think that the silencing helps a little bit. And I think that there was an aspect of luck to this one. But I used Egbert in my backline, and his shield is so helpful that it meant that this hit particularly worked well, where Enzo was at a very low health for almost the entire fight. But with the shield going and with the occasional lowering of the attack, it meant that I wasn't taking any more damage and was able to output a lot. So again, I hope this helps you guys in figuring out what your best lineup is going to be, just so people understand not every hit went this well. Most of them were in the teens. This was kind of the best hit that I had, but I just hope that this helps you all in figuring out how to adapt to this new change to Hector. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr, and I'll see you then.